Welcome to Infinite Fascination. Join us on a captivating journey as we uncover one of history's most chilling and mysterious tales. Today we delve into the dark and enigmatic world of Giulia Tofana, the mastermind behind Acqua Tofana, the deadly poison that wreaked havoc in 17th century Italy. Discover the secrets of her deadly concoction and the sinister network that spread fear across Europe. Prepare to be intrigued and fascinated as we reveal the story of one of history's most notorious poisoners. Let's dive in. Between 1630 and 1655, Giulia Tofana and her poison cartel facilitated over 600 deaths, primarily targeting husbands via their infamous poison, Acqua Tofana. Known by some as a serial murderer and others as a seductive assassin, the truth about Tofana was far more sinister. Tofana led a poisonous network spanning Sicily, Naples, and Rome, offering a highly sought-after black market service. Her underground empire included cunning women, backdoor apothecaries, crooked clergymen, and fortune-telling witches, all dedicated to the sale and distribution of poison. After 20 successful years, Tofana was finally caught, but her fate remains a mystery. Whether she was executed or set free is still unknown. In 17th century Sicily, options for women unhappy in their marriages or looking to inherit a fortune were limited. Poisoning a husband was one of the fastest and easiest ways to achieve this. Lower-class women saw it as poetic justice, while the upper elite viewed it as sinister and untrustworthy. Despite societal views, all levels of society were willing customers of Tofana's cartel. Historian Mike Dash explains that the term criminal magical underworld was first coined by Linwood Molyneux while exploring the black market community of witchcraft and poison crafting in early 18th century Paris. This description fits Tofana's operation well. While Tofana is often portrayed as evil, her original reputation, as discussed by writer Hannah McKennett, was that of a quiet friend to all lower-class women. Most of her clients were abused women from the poor and working class, rather than gold-digging widows of the upper elite. Reliable accounts of Giulia Tofana's reign can be found in the works of 19th century historians Alessandro Adamolo and Salomene Marino. They claim she was born around 1620 in Palermo, Sicily, to Francis and Tofania di Amado. Her mother created the first variation of Acqua Tofana and was executed in 1633 for poisoning Giulia's father. Giulia followed in her mother's footsteps, eventually moving her operation to Naples with her daughter Girolama Spara and later to Rome. Giulia Tofana collaborated with Francesca Lasarda, who initially worked with her mother. Lasarda was a cunning woman, a term for women who provided potions and lucky charms to the wealthy. However, Lasarda's time with Tofana was short-lived as she was executed in February 1634. Spara continued to work among the upper class, while Giovanna de Grandis catered to lower society. Tofana also recruited Father Girolamo of Sant Agnese in Agone, who provided arsenic supplies through his brother, an apothecary. Dash estimates that Tofana's organization employed over 200 people. Tofana's network offered many other black market items besides poison. Priests often participated as black magicians, providing blessings, love potions, and acting as middlemen in the sale of poisons, charms, and books. Tofana's network also sold magic merchandise ranging from wands and grimoires to love potions, breast milk, and dried menstrual blood. Every large 17th century European city had some form of criminal magical underworld. These networks included alchemists, apothecaries, secretive priests, and fortune tellers. Excluding Acqua Tofana, most of Tofana's catalogue was beneficial, offering ancient herbal remedies for ailments that priests and doctors couldn't cure. The services provided by Tofana's cunning women preserved ancient magical traditions that had been underground since the rise of Christianity. These services maintained intrigue among customers willing to purchase fortune-telling sessions, remedies, and liquid medicinal options for unwanted pregnancies. Tofana's primary commodity, however, was poison. She targeted women in troubled marriages, offering a final solution with her best poisons. Aqua Tofana, as described by Dash, was credited with supernatural powers and blamed for hundreds of deaths. Created in Palermo, Sicily, by Tofana's mother, it was tasteless, scentless, and mimicked death from common cold symptoms. Its base ingredients were arsenic, lead, antimony, and mercuric chloride. In an era where sudden death was common, the poison was undetectable by surgeons during autopsies. McKennett describes Aqua Tofana as inducing weakness, exhaustion, stomach aches, extreme thirst, vomiting, and dysentery. 6 drops were enough to kill an unsuspecting individual. Its ordinary appearance made it easy to store in a woman's makeup container, making it accessible for anyone to administer. Even after Tofana's gang was dismantled, Aqua Tofana remained synonymous with any subtle, slow-acting poison. In 1650, a young woman's failed attempt to poison her husband led to Tofana's network being exposed. After being beaten, the woman confessed to purchasing poison from Tofana's network. Tofana went into hiding in a church, continuing her operations through nuns until she was finally turned in to authorities. Tortured, she confessed to the deaths of over 600 men between 1633 and 1651. Tofana, her daughter Spara, 40 customers, and 6 assistants were executed in Campo de' Fiori in Rome in 1651. However, the exact details of her death remain unclear. Over the centuries, accounts of Tofana's death have varied. Some suggest she died of natural causes in 1651, while others claim she was executed in 1659, 1709, or even 1730. All accounts agree that by the 1650s, Tofana was no longer leading her network. Spara had taken over operations in Rome in 1658, but she and Grandis were eventually caught and hanged in July 1659. Father Girolamo escaped prosecution. Despite the dismantling of her network, Aqua Tofana continued to be produced. The recipe lived on in apothecaries throughout Italy, and the potion was even linked to Mozart's death many years later. Whether Tofana's descendants continue to create the poison or her criminal magical underground still thrives, one fact remains: poison was and is always in demand. In the modern era, poison remains the method of choice for female serial killers due to its subtlety and ability to fool forensic experts. Poison is discreet, allowing killers to move their contraband easily. As Vronsky mentions, the most common type of female serial killer is the Black Widow, with 85% fitting this profile. Their most common victims are husbands, lovers, or even their own children, with the goal of attaining wealth, land, or titles through inheritance. Giulia Tofana, however, doesn't fit the profile of a regular serial killer. Poison was not her only product. She offered a range of merchandise and services that other channels could not. She did not directly kill victims, but sold the poison so others could. Most of her clients were abused housewives from the lower working class. In 17th century Italy, women had few options besides marriage, which was often contractual and loveless. Tofana provided dark arts, trinkets, and charms, and the fantasy of escaping an abusive marriage. Many women bought the poison as a novelty item, cultivating the fantasy of someday being free from their husband. The fantasy remains appealing, much like the idea of a tall, dark stranger arriving to take you away to a better future. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the dark history of Giulia Tofana and her notorious poison, Aqua Tofana. We hope you found this journey as intriguing as we did. The tale of Giulia Tofana is a stark reminder of how desperation and cunning can intertwine to create a legend that endures through the ages. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more fascinating stories from Infinite Fascination. Stay curious, and until next time, keep exploring the wonders and mysteries of our world.